Now, today, June 25th, marks the 75th anniversary since the outbreak of the Korean War. Now, since the war ended in an armistice, finishing military service is a mandatory thing here in Korea for all Korean men, right, Kun-woo? Including yourself?
That's true. And including myself, as a Korean citizen myself, I also finished my military service as a KATUSA, serving at Camp Humphreys, cooperating with U.S. troops. And thinking of that, it's not just me who finished the military service, it's also the K-pop boy band members. Since going to the military means nearly 2 years off stage for them, there have been concerns about a career end. But I witnessed a little change in that perception. So follow me and see how it's been changing. Welcome back. Fans say it with sincerity after a long wait for their favorite K-pop idols to finish their military service. Those two words have never felt more powerful than this June, the month when BTS finally became whole again, with SUGA being the last member to officially complete his military duty.
The military service is very demanding, so they need to take a little break, but we're most looking forward to, their comeback, their new potential concepts, their new music. We're just happy that they're back together.
Fans from around the world have been preparing for this moment, some even from the year before. On this day, it was easy to find global fans from regions, including Southeast Asia and North and South America, celebrating the return of their favorite stars. That was especially visible at fan cafes, where fans transform regular cafes into customized spaces for special events like being discharged from the military. At first glance, this may look like an ordinary cafe, but take a closer look, and you'll find all kinds of decorations celebrating the discharge of BTS members from the military. From photo displays, to fan letters, and even custom-made merchandise. There was a time when military service meant 2 years of silence with less interaction with fans, but now fans have found ways to stay connected. Fans say they managed to wait, thanks ironically to the abundance of content released when the artists were away.
They were prepared before they went into the military. At least they had some content for all of the army to consume while they were away. So I'm sure they really thought of us.
One expert says the military service break used to be seen as a major obstacle to idol careers, but not anymore.
Unlike now, in the past, idol groups typically lasted only a few years, and very few made it past 7. That meant going to the military during their peak often ended their career in fandom. But K-pop's global expansion is also another factor, as international fans tend to stay loyal, regardless of age, giving artists greater longevity.
He added that in the case of BTS, the group's decision to enlist one by one was a smart strategy, helping maintain the group's brand even while some members were away. As public perception toward military service breaks has shifted, the time away is no longer seen as a full stop, but merely a comma before a brand new chapter begins.
Well, we've been reporting a lot recently about the BTS members being released from military. And I mean, remember the time when there was a debate on whether BTS should actually be spared from military or not, but eventually they did all go. And it's great to see that these strategies worked and also that the fans have been loyal. But Kun-woo, the coverage looked like a lot of fun, especially the fan cafe that you went to. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
It was so much fun. At the cafe, prepared by global armies, there was a flea market going on with all sorts of merchandise, as you also saw during my coverage, and also a lucky draw where you can earn special gifts. And one of the most important, the most fun parts of the fan cafe was a BTS exam that I also took. So if you take a look at the screen, this is what I took. And
doesn't look like a lot of correct answers there, Kun-woo.
Could you guess how much I got, how much I scored?
Kun-woo, I know that you are a fan of BTS. You should have at least have maybe 60 or 70 points out of 100.
Well, if that was true, I would be even happier. But I only got 30
points out of 100. But it doesn't mean that I'm not a big fan of BTS. I'm a true ARMY here. I went to their offline concerts. I have several of their actual albums. I know all their names, and this goes on and on. So I'm pretty sure I'm a big fan of BTS, and yes, please keep that in mind.
Okay. So let's not be too disappointed
yes,
here.
But one thing I want to tell you guys, as it could be like an excuse, but the questions here was pretty challenging. For example, you have to know all the hair color changes of each member on each album.
Oh, wow.
So, and this was only the easy version. There was even a harder version, so.
Okay. I mean, I don't even remember what I wore yesterday, so.
That's true. And that does sound like a very, very hard test to take. But Kun-woo, can you tell us more about how active celebrities become after their service?
Yes, so since we've been talking about BTS, let's continue from there. So now that its members have come back, they've been jumping right back into the spotlight, I can't say. So for example, most recently, J-Hope wrapped up his 4-month world tour, gathering over 500,000 fans globally. And for Jin, the first member to be discharged from the military, he had a breakthrough with a TV reality show called Kian's Bizarre B&B that ranked in Netflix's top 10 chart in several countries, which we've been also covering at this show. And as this year marks BTS's 12th anniversary, the annual BTS Festa was held successfully in Goyang this month with many exhibits on display. And one expert also says their experience in the military will be helpful enough in their music career down the road.
Since BTS finished their duty honorably without exemptions, it can be seen as them having overcome a major life challenge. In that sense, they will be able to gather more fans with sincerity and with an emotional connection if they incorporate those experiences in their future performances and creative artwork.
Well, I think this all works well for BTS, but I hope that also other groups can benchmark from BTS.
Of course.
Not only groups, but also singers who are a single member, and the fans have to wait for that single singer
artist,
as well as Cha-eun-woo, for instance, like
Kang Daniel,
actors, or Kang Daniel. I mean, Cha-eun-woo is also part of a group, but still, I hope that all the fans will be able to wait for those 1.5 years now, and that it all works out for them well, and we won't have that 공백기 anymore.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Kun-woo, for that interesting coverage.
Thank you, Kun-woo.
Thank you.